I'm here today with super duper altar expert, Robin Mastro, and we have been, for the last 20 minutes, we've been building an altar in my living room. And I'm just going to give you a really quick recap of what Robin has told me to do. She's actually written a book called Altars of Power and Grace, which is all about altars. I believe that's unavailable right now, but she also has a course coming out on October the 22nd, which is probably tomorrow by the time you see this. But so what we're doing is we're building an altar in the corner of my living room, and where I've had a kind of an altar, but not really. And so we've made it an altar of an everything altar for abundance. So I'm just going to quickly recap, Robin. You tell me if I get it wrong, okay? So the first thing was Robin said it looked a bit sort of bare. So I grabbed this beautiful picture I have of Ganesha, which obviously lights up the space. Now let me just see if I can come in a bit closer. So then what we've done is well, for one thing, we covered this up because it wasn't very pretty. And so Robin asked me to put the element of water here. I've got Durga, the goddess who gives us courage and strength, elevated on a little altar, which actually happens to have green and gold on it as well, which is really good because this is like an abundance of everything good altar. Then we have the element of air, which is represented by the bells. We've got that here. We haven't finished, so you've just come in at the right time. We've got this in the middle for space, which is going to hold my hopes and dreams. So, Robin, you take us from here now.
All right. So in the center, that plate, that round plate, is we call it an offering tray. It's where the space element goes. What you're creating is an energetic conduit that supports your highest intentions by aligning you and your desire, your intention, your hopes and your dreams to the forces of nature. We're representing all the elements in their order, and then we're going to ignite it. But the thing about these kind of altars is we still have a little bit to do with putting the elements specifically in their place, is that we want to make something that touches our heart. We want to make something that we absolutely love. So every time we look at it, we go, oh my God, I love this altar. It feels so wonderful to me, because
It
as you,
actually does.
I
Honestly,
know
it really
it's
does. Like I'm looking at this and thinking, why did I not put this a year ago or 2 years ago?
I mean, and what's wonderful about these altars is that once we put all the elements in and we ignite it, and every time we spend a little time in front of this altar, whether it's just in passing or whether you're doing your yoga, your meditation in the room where your altar is, every time you spend time in front of your altar and give it a little love, it just boosts the efficacy of what your intention is. So these are very different kinds of altars, because they're not just a conglomeration of things that remind you of a loved one or remind you of something in the past. These are very strong action working present day altars to get you to be more aligned with what your highest and deepest desires are. So this is kind of your conduit to the unseen forces in nature that support your everyday life. But it actually is almost like your lifeline to some sort of agent in the unseen that will support you getting more of what you really do need and want. So it's more than just what you think you want, it's what you really need. So it's very powerful, and lots of cool stories, but this is really all about Yasmin's altar. So let's finish this up and ignite it.
Can I just say one thing, Robin, before we hit record? I think you were saying, I obviously have got a lot of stuff because I've collected it over the years in India and so on. What about for people who are looking at this going, oh, but I don't have this stuff?
Well, you put together what you do have, and then I say go shopping. And it doesn't need to be expensive. It can be at a garage sale or a junk store or a grocery store. You find things that you are looking for, and it's almost as if you're magnetized to the perfect thing. And once you find it, you'll know, it'll spark something in you and go, that's it. I knew I would find it. And it makes you feel good. And that's the thing. You're putting together something you absolutely love.
Yeah.
And
And for anyone who happens to be in London, because some people will be, I got a lot of this stuff in India, but I also got a lot of it in Southall, which is what we call Little India, where you get all these shops. They're not for tourists, they're for local Indian people. And you know, if you have a Little India near where you live, you'll always get a whole lot of beautiful stuff.
yeah.
And also
And
you have it on your website. I think a lot of stuff on your website.
we have products on our website. Yeah, and you can just Google this stuff too. Some of it you can even see on Amazon, which is interesting as well. So
Yeah.
you just need to, have an open mind, because when you find something, it'll resonate with you. And but you're looking for the representation of the 5 elements: earth, air, water, fire, and space. And once we have those in perfect position, then we decorate it to make it look and feel like it's ours. So we have done the personal symbol, which is the Durga in the back, and we've done the space element, and we've done the water element, and we've done the air element, and now we're going to do fire. So fire, we've got a little candle, and is it an electric one, or is it one of the
No,
regular
it's a
votes?
tea light.
Okay, so do we want to
There.
yeah, you could put it in, well, they've got yeah, in the copper cup over on the right side that you're gonna why don't we take that whole thing and move it over to
No,
the,
It's right.
oh, is it in the air element? Oh,
Yeah,
perfect. I
it's
mean,
in-
fire element, so sorry. So that's where the fire element goes. And
So
now,
is it in the right place, actually?
hmm,
Is it in the right place there?
it's perfect in the right place.
Oh, great. Okay, well,
And
that's
then, and then the first thing that happened is that you brought a bunch of earth elements, so I know you have a bunch there.
so
So
I love this little amethyst love heart.
that's
too
perfect.
Perfect. And take the
And
pyramid
does
out.
that go here where the pyramid is?
But it doesn't, you can add the pyramid if you love it, and
I
as
love
well.
the pyramid.
Okay, so what we have the elements in their order, and now you just, whatever you want to place, you have a
Okay.
couple of statues, you can add those. Um, it's looking very lovely, I
I
think.
think that looks amazing. I love it.
So the next step is that we're going to, what is this? But before
Matches.
we got matches, but before we go through the ceremony to ignite it, we
Okay.
we want you to, do you have a little piece of paper and a pencil? And it's preferably an unlined piece of paper, like a Post-it note or something that you could,
1 second.
so this is sacred knowledge that's ancient. It originated, this is based on the science of Vastu Shastra, which is known to be 7 to 10,000 years old, comes from a body of knowledge called the Vedas from India. And I did my graduate research work in this, creating these sacred altars, and they started changing people's lives in very good ways, and surprised everybody. But the theory is, when you balance the 5 elements and you place your altars in specific directions around a home or an office, this is a directional science. It it has the ability to change the environment and create a conduit between you and the support that you need in the unseen to achieve the things that you desire more quickly. So you need something that's small, because what we're going to do is distill the feeling of what it is you want. And there are many different ways to do this, but what I do is, and this is quite simple and easy to do for most people, as one of the ways that we ignite the altar, is to write the 3 feelings, the outcome feelings of what it would be like for you to have what it is that you desire. So because this is an abundance altar, that could be the feeling of joy, expansion, fulfillment, excitement, feeling unlimited, feeling powerful, feeling aligned. So these are the words, they're descriptive words that when you tap into how it would feel to be abundant to you, pick the
And
three.
I remember last time we did this,
Hmm.
we did I'm so happy and grateful that. Do I do that, or just talk about I feel blessed and abundant and happy? And
You should start with the word I'm grateful for.
That was the next thing I was going to say. So yeah, that is always a good way to begin things, because the gratitude is kind of a gateway to grace. So whenever we feel ourselves shutting down or tightening down and feeling lack in our lives, it cuts off the flow of grace. So with gratitude, with that feeling of expansion, we're opening ourselves up to the possibilities that exist for us to embody what it is that we do want.
all right, I've done it.
Excellent.
So now I fold it up, I suppose.
Fold it up, and Mike is going to lead you on to a little ritual that we do to ignite the altar.
Okay.
Hold the piece of paper to your heart and start taking, with your eyes closed, long, slow, deep breaths in and out through the nose. And as you breathe in, feel every particle of your being of what it would feel like to have whatever you wrote on the piece of paper. Feel that sense of joy, fulfillment, and gratitude in every particle of your being, with a big, big smile on your face. Now you could take the piece of paper and put it in the offering tray in the very center of the altar, the space element. And the next step is to ignite the altar. So we're going to ignite the altar with what we call Gomukhi Mudra. So this is the mudra of intention. And it's, you hold the two middle fingers in with your thumb, and then you have your pointer finger and baby finger sticking out. And so we're going to chant that Ganesh mantra 9 times, pointing at the center of the altar.
All right, so we're going to then chant Om Gam Ganapatiye Namaha. Now, this
When
feels
you-
a bit devilish. Is everyone going to think that, or is it just me?
No, this is, so mudras, different. You've seen people meditate like with this, and so that each hand position moves the energy in different ways. And this particular one is bringing your attention to your attention.
Intention.
Intention. See, attention to your intention.
So,
Okay.
and the fingers represent certain planets, right?
Yes, yes, yes. And different elements. So the baby finger is fire and the pointer finger is air. And but anyway, that's not important.
So it's
All
like,
right, and so
Yeah.
we're going to chant 9 times Om Gam Ganapatiye Namaha, actually to Ganesha.
we're
Yes.
going to do it this way,
Yeah.
back
So
and forth each time.
But first I have to light the candle. Here we
You're going
go.
to light the candle, and then you're going to ring the bell.
Oh, light the candle. Okay. And I'm going to ring the bell.
place the bell back in the air element area.
No, and then we're going to do this mudra, which moves the energy from your attention into your intention.
Amazing. All right, I'm ready. Shall we go?
Om Gam Ganapatiye Namaha. Om Ganapati Namaha. Om Gam Ganapatiye Namaha. Relax the hands, keep the eyes closed, take a deep breath in. And as you breathe out, just surrender all those intentions to the divine. It's in divine time to create opportunities for your intentions to manifest. And with a big, big smile, you can open your eyes. Perfect.
That was amazing. So I'm done.
Yes.
And now
That's
I
it.
can light the candle every day and reaffirm my intentions, I suppose.
The idea, yeah, every morning to spend at least 30 seconds. This whole process takes only really 30 seconds to set that intention and then give it to God.
Okay. So, guys, thank you so much. Tell us about your course. Because I know a lot of people are going to want to have their own altar. And I know you have a whole course, which could be, this is an abundance altar. You could have just a plain money one, or a relationships or health or whatever. Tell us about your course. What's it called? Where do people find it? When's it launching? All that stuff.
Well, they can get the link through you, so they just need to let you know.
I'll put the link in the description.
Right. So the course launches next Tuesday, which is the 22nd of October. It will be taped, so if people aren't able to join because of the time constraint, it's going to be at 4 o'clock Pacific time on Tuesdays and Thursdays for 5 weeks. And then on the final class is on the Tuesday before Thanksgiving in the US. Again, all classes are at 4 p.m., but recorded live. They're going to learn the history, how it began. They're going to learn chants, mantras, and yantras, and be taken through meditations and processes to become very, very clear on what it is that you need in your life to create the kind of life that you've desired. You're going to have the support of our dedicated Facebook community. There's going to be question and answer time during every class that we have. They're going to get a copy, a downloadable copy of our award-winning book, Altars of Power and Grace. There's going to be speakers, and you're going to be on. We're going to actually have you on. We're going to do a class with you on the new moon. There will be speakers, one speaker per week, who have, in their way, created an incredible success in their lives and also use altars. So Michael and I have been doing this altar creation for 30 years. And actually, for me, longer. Even before I knew that I was creating altars in this tradition, I was doing altars based on an incredible waking meditation that I had probably 40 years ago. So this work is deep and it's transformational, and you're going to get daily blessings from Michael. He does a early morning puja, which is a fire ceremony every day. And he is, everybody that takes a course will be part of that. And you'll get daily inspiration in the email to you, just to keep the energy going, moving in a positive way so that you feel supported by nature.
Sounds amazing. So I'll just say to people as well, we didn't talk about it as we did it because we didn't hit record until I'd sort of almost set it up. But this is actually set up in a particular direction, isn't it? Because Michael, you know the direction of my house. So
Yes.
have you then, as we've done this, you've worked out where is where on my table? And is that something people can learn for themselves from your course about how to understand the way their house is facing, and therefore where should all the bits and bobs go on their particular table? Because it could be different, could it?
Definitely.
Correct.
Definitely, everybody has a different, some people are aligned to the north, south, east, west grid. Some people are not. It makes a difference of where you set the altar up. There are different directions, have different aspirations, different energies that are very potent for manifesting what you do want. So these altars are a great adjunct to the work that you do. And you've been using altars ever since we met you. We've been working with these kind of altars in your house. And we just seen so many people from all walks of life benefit from this great knowledge. So,
and I know a lot of people who take a daily oracle card. Would it be okay to put the card there somewhere to lean it against the water, for example, or I don't know, put it
they could put it in their altar tray, you know, in the
altar tray for
altar.
the card for the day?
Yes.
Yes, of course. It's
And this I can change my intention when I want to.
you know, one of the things that we say, if the altar fulfills your desire or doesn't feel like it's working properly after a while, you just take the things off, clean the altar, and reignite the altar. So
And
we're
if
gonna
I want to, I can add some, you know, I don't know, some crystals. I can change up the crystals, all that stuff.
Sure.
It's kind of like changing your clothes, you know,
Okay.
you dress your altar for how you feel. And because the altar becomes alive once you ignite it, it's like changing your child's clothes. You want them clean, you want them nice, you want the altar to represent you in your joy, your love. When
And
you
just
love,
a reminder, to ignite it, we did the chant. Is that right?
and each altar has a specific kind of chant that goes along with it as well. So we're going to teach you everything that we have learned over these many, many years of working with these altars so that they are very efficient.
Amazing. Okay. Well, guys, I can't recommend this highly enough. Honestly, I know many of you absolutely love altars, and I know this course, Robin and I have been talking about this course for years. I know it's going to be amazing. So, guys, thank you so much, and we'll see you in the course.
Thank you.
Bye.